years, Supercross has always been headlined by dominant figures, towering over the sport until the next big thing arrived. From the first three-time champion Bob Hanna in the 1970s to the era of Team Honda, where from 1982 to 1996, 7 different riders won 13 Supercross championships. This streak culminated with Jeremy McGrath's 4 consecutive titles. McGrath's career would go down as the greatest in history. He would earn 72 career wins and 7 Supercross championships and retire as the undisputed king of Supercross. In 2001, Ricky Carmichael would take the mantle from McGrath, winning 14 races and his first championship. Over a 6-year span, RC would capture 5 Supercross titles on 3 different brands of motorcycles. At the end of Carmichael's reign, a brash Australian and a courageous African American were taking the sport by storm. These 2 riders would contend one of the most contentious and bitter rivalries the sport has ever seen. Florida's James Stewart and Australia's Chad Reed would establish Hall of Fame credentials, racking up race wins and championships along the way. But as the new season began, the winds of change were once again sweeping through the sport. And this time, they're delivering a field of riders the likes of which have never been seen. 2013 would be remembered as a changing of the guard. Monster Energy Kawasaki's Ryan Villopoto has captured the 450 Supercross crown in consecutive years, but he'd have to push himself to new heights if he wants to lift the trophy again in 2013.
A championship's a championship, but that makes it harder when there's 5, 6 guys that can win it versus one. It's harder to win now than I think it's ever been.
Looking to reclaim what was once theirs, 3 past champions. Red Bull KTM's Ryan Dungey in his 2nd season with KTM. He hoped to build on his 4 wins from a season ago. 22 Motorsports' Chad Reed, who saw his brilliant start in 2012 derailed by injury. And Yoshimura Suzuki's James Stewart, hoping to rebound after an injury kept him out of 2012's stretch run. Emerging talent was also coming into focus. Team Honda Muscle Milk rookie Justin Barcia had claimed 2 titles in the 250 Supercross class and was ready to put his championship pedigree to the test against the world's fastest Supercross riders in the Premier class. Barcia announced his presence to the sports elite with a victory in Las Vegas at the Monster Energy Cup. The 21-year-old is ready to stake his claim as one of the fast guys in this new era of Supercross.
I think the sport right now is crazy. That's a good word to say because you never know who's going to win every weekend. I think that's great for the fans' perspective also. They never know who's going to win, so that makes them want to watch more. And I think there's a lot of guys behind me charging hard, working hard, and it's going to be a stacked class for many years to come.
Then there are 3 riders who are looking to return to the ranks of contenders. Rockstar Energy Suzuki's Davey Millsaps rode to a 2nd place finish in the standings, but was still facing an industry full of doubters when the campaign began. Team Honda Muscle Milk's Trey Kennard was once where his teammate Justin Barcia was, a surefire lock as a future superstar of the sport. However, injuries have kept Kennard from winning since his rookie campaign in 2011. With more skill, athleticism, and courage than ever before, this group of riders will sacrifice anything to attain the ultimate prize, the 2013 Monster Energy Supercross title. Welcome back to CBS Sports Spectacular Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship Changing of the Guard. As the gates were about to drop for the season opener in Anaheim, California, the usual names were soaking up all the attention. Ryan Villopoto was seeking to become just the 4th rider in history to win 3 titles in a row. Is this the year James Stewart or Chad Reed wins their 3rd crown? Will Ryan Dungey be able to deliver KTM a 450 Supercross championship? And is Rookie of the Year candidate Justin Barcia a real contender for the title? no one was talking about Davey Millsaps. Despite finishing second in the 2012 final point standings, Millsaps was overlooked, conventional wisdom being that he only finished that high because so many of the top contenders suffered lengthy injuries. Millsaps was out to prove them wrong and changed his preparation heading into the season.
I've gotten hurt every single year since 2006. There hasn't been a year that I've gone all the way through the year been healthy. It just really boils down to being prepared coming to Anaheim 1 for the first time in a long time. And working really hard in the off season and on and off the bike, having a consistent, solid program, being on a new team, a new bike that I'm comfortable on and I enjoy riding, and just really not having any pressure being the underdog.
That extra preparation began to pay off immediately at Anaheim 1.
Who's going to get the start? That looks like Kennard with a great one on the outside.
Millsaps grabs it.
Barsha, Kennard, all right there. Dungy's in the mix up front.
Wow,
Doesn't look like
Kennard.
a great start for Villapoto. Kennard is on it, and Millsaps up front leading him. Villapoto alongside of Stu. Oh, he goes down again! Ryan Villapoto, and he's limping. And then another
Tickle.
rider crashes. It's Tickle.
Yep.
As the race reached its midpoint, Millsaps was still sitting pretty up front.
It has been 46 races since Davey Millsaps has stood on the top step of the podium. 3 times he has won a Monster Energy Supercross main event.
He's getting close, man. Over him. Uh-oh.
Here comes Kennard! He makes the move up the inside!
After surrendering the lead, Millsaps had to make a late push to pass Trey Kennard.
One left
last
to go!
gas.
The crowd on its feet here in Angel Stadium! Here's Millsaps! Who's gonna hit the quad? Oh, Kennard goes sideways! Millsaps is in the lead! Davey Millsaps, second in the championship last year. Nobody had him on their radar to win here in Anaheim. Nobody, except for Travis Pastrana, who tweeted it to us earlier. And Davey Millsaps is about to do it. He wins Anaheim.
It was Millsaps' first victory since 2010 and the 4th of his career. Millsaps would make a habit out of finishing on the podium in 2013. He backed up his win at the opener with a wire-to-wire performance in San Diego.
With the magic this year in 2013, taking him to the top step of the podium. Here he comes, checkered flag. Davey Millsaps and Suzuki have won here in San Diego.
The victory had to be all the more thrilling for Millsaps as it came on his 100th consecutive Supercross start. The Rockstar Energy racing rider had now cemented his name within the ranks of the sports elite. Millsaps' improved training regimen owes a lot to Supercross great Ezra Lusk.
He writes my programs for me every day, every week. He's not just there for my riding, but he's there for anything I need, mentally, physically, riding wise, off the bike. It doesn't matter. If I need him or I have a question or whatever, he's there.
What I think I helped Davey with his riding skills, I think more so putting all the pieces to the puzzle together. Like growing up, in the little camps he had with, his Davey Millsaps training camps, his mom and everything, and the work ethic every day they'd had as an amateur. Like I really think that's what's given him the talent that he has now and the ability to ride his bike the way he does. I've just tried to polish off really everything that he does and just make it great. And more so, like I said, all the pieces of the puzzle, just making sure they all fit right and he does everything every single day.
Millsaps' distinction as an underdog is furthered by the fact that he's one of the non-factory riders contending for the championship.
It's cool that, I am literally on a privateer bike. I don't have any factory support. But that just shows that people outside the industry that want to come in and do something in the sport, and they always feel like they have to have a factory bike to win or to be up in the front. And it just goes to show that you don't. We have a great team behind us. We have great support from all our sponsors, and with all that put together, we were able to create a bike and to go out there and win and be on the podium. I just think it's cool that it just shows everyone out there that You don't have to have a factory bike to be in the front. You just have to have good funding, good equipment, and the right rider to do it.
A healthy and committed Davey Millsaps gave further proof to the argument that this is in fact the most competitive era of Supercross racing in history.
You have all these guys that you're racing against, so you can't just say, oh, there's one dude out there that is going to win. You don't know who's going to win. You know, change of the guard for sure. You know, forget about the Big 4 and Big 5. It's just Supercross now.
A rider with a history of race wins and 250 championship has suddenly found a racing home. And for the 24-year-old Millsaps, he is heading into the prime years of his career with an eye towards the championship. When we return, we'll look back at the celebrated career of Kevin Windham and focus in on the young superstars who are waiting in the wings to replace him. Plus, Millsaps, Barcia, Dungey, Stewart, and Villopoto all claimed victory in the first half of 2013. But just which rider will stand tallest at season's end? Get lightning-fast scores, stats, and news from the new and improved CBS Sports app. Download it now from your phone or tablet by visiting cbssports.com/mobile. Welcome back to Monster Energy's Supercross, Changing of the Guard. For 17 years, Kevin Windham has been a model of consistency. The likable 35-year-old had won 18 career main events and earned 75 podium finishes in 207 career starts. However, in 2013, the young stars of modern Supercross had pushed the pace to a point where one of the sport's most accomplished riders had decided to call it a career. Windham announced the news to a stunned crowd at Angel Stadium on January 17th.
It's been such an amazing ride, and this last couple of years, ever since the Houston Supercross where I took the big crash, it's been weighing on me hard, and trying to race myself back into the confidence to run with these guys up front, it just hasn't been going the way I wanted to. So this is my opportunity to step away with health and do the hardest part that I've ever done in my entire career, and that's stand here and thank all the fans that have made my career so special. When the cheers of the crowd and the memories that I've been a part of and people have come and told me about, and inspiring people has just made my career worth its while. And with so much regret, today's the day that I step away.
Even as Kevin Windham was walking away from Supercross and towards life after racing, the sport was looking towards a bright future. The next wave of 450 heroes is on the horizon and already proving their championship medal. Top amateur riders Cooper Webb and Adam Cianciarulo have already made their mark with victories in the support classes at the Monster Energy Cup and are looking to make their debuts inside the stadiums in 2014. Their ascent into the 250 class will put them in the company of such luminaries as former motocross champions Dean Wilson and Blake Baggett, 2012 250 West champion Eli Tomac, and KTM's pair of international stars German Ken Roczen and Frenchman Marvin Musquin. Roczen and Tomac both dipped their toe into the world of 450 Supercross in 2013 and are excited about their future racing the world's best.
When you line up against a Reed or a Stewart or a Villopoto, you know, it's a little intimidating at first. You know, I'll tell you the truth, it is. Just because you look up to those guys when you're coming up through the amateur ranks, and to actually be on the track with them, it's just, you're kind of like, wow. So it's a cool deal.
For 2014, I'm going to join the 450 class, and I honestly can't wait. I feel really comfortable on the big bikes. Lots of fast riders out there. I mean, it's a king class, and I mean, as you can see this year, I don't think it has been that strong in quite a bit of time. So I'm going to put 100% effort in for next year.
Paving the way for this next generation of riders is two-time 250 East champion Justin Barcia. Barcia made his debut in the 450 class at the season opener in Anaheim. 1 week later, he found victory at Chase Field in Phoenix.
Barcia's got the lead. Millsaps runs in second. Here comes Barcia. Checkered flag. He wins his first ever Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship points race.
With his win, Justin Barcia became the 26th different rider to earn a victory for Team Honda. Barcia joins a long line of riders who have rode red to Supercross immortality. Justin is happy to be tagged as the next star to carry on Honda's proud tradition.
You know, Honda's definitely had a lot of famous, great racers. A lot of championships have been won there. And I think for me, I don't really have a lot of pressure. I think, I was hired to go race, and I race dirt bikes. And, that's what I do, is have fun. So I'm going to go out there and do the best I can as a rider and as a person, and whatever comes from that is what we'll get in return.
Although he's dealt with inconsistencies that any rookie would face, Barcia has proved without a doubt that he is ready to live up to the hype and be a star for years to come.
Justin Barcia is just a kid that, he just has that will to win. And, he's made some moves before that have been questionable, and they've kind of got it, in the industry where like, man, if he ever does that, I'm going to take him out, I'm going to do this, do that, whatever the case may be. But you kind of got to appreciate somebody's desire to win that's that strong, that's that great, and that's good. The way he attacks everything is pretty awesome, and I think that's, his desire is going to be what keeps him on pace or on par, or, to win these races.
I think I can be a champion one day for sure in the 450 class. I've won Supercross championships in the 250 class, and I kind of know what it takes. Obviously, there's a lot more races in the Supercross class. It's definitely going to be hard, but I think I can see myself being a champion.
I think our results have spoke for themselves. We've won a race. We've been on the podium or awful close to the podium every race, except the couple that we've crashed out. So as far as us in that dynamic, we're right on that fringe of getting to that elite level of both Ryans.
The lessons of 2013 will serve Justin well as he competes for future titles in the 450 class.
Pretty crazy to be racing against those guys that have won all these 450 championships, and for me, I've looked up to some of those riders, and now being competitive with them and racing them is pretty awesome. You don't really think about that when you get out there on the line, but just if you do sit back and kind of relax and think about you're racing the best guys in the world, and you could be one of them in a championship one day in the 450 class would be awesome, and that kind of makes you feel pretty cool.
Coming up, it's time to catch up with two riders who have dominated the past decade of Supercross racing. Former champions and rivals James Stewart and Chad Reed. As CBS Sports Spectacular Monster Energy Supercross Changing of the Guard rolls on after this message and a word from your local stations. Monster Energy Supercross Changing of the Guard. Throughout the 4 decades of racing inside stadiums, the riders at the top of the series have come and gone. However, the one enemy every top competitor fears lives on: adapting to the technology of the motorcycles and fitness of the athletes. The track remains the 21st rider on the gate and the great equalizer in the sport. How quickly a rider learns its intricacies can be the difference between victory and defeat.
I think preparing for tracks that obviously change from week to week for us is just making sure you put the work in during the week and during the off season. Yeah, they are all different. The dirt is different. The dirt changes while we're out there. The track changes while we're out there racing. So it's just being prepared. You can't ever ride the tracks before and get used to them.
Even before the event, you see the track map, and usually it's different, whether the dirt is not quite what you expected or the layout changes a little bit. I think it adds an element to our sport that is exciting, because not only do you just go ride the track, but you have to learn it and be constantly evolving with the track. And I think it's an exciting thing. It throws a new mix into every weekend.
I've been with a NASCAR team, so I know how it goes. They're set up before they even get to the racetrack. So, here it's always changing. You basically have the same obstacles, but, a little bit different. So you always got to set it up, different every weekend. So, you just ride at the house and then take a base setting, and that's what we try to do and just make it work. And by the time the heat race main event comes, we should be pretty dialed in, but it's a lot different.
The West Coast was a huge challenge. I've never ridden that dirt. I've never, raced those tracks before, and that was, something to learn. And 20 practice laps is, kind of tough. So definitely learning the new tracks every weekend is not easy, but I've definitely adapted to it pretty good.
I think during the week you just kind of prepare the best you can and ride similar conditions to what you think the track is going to be. We get track maps at the beginning of the year, so you kind of know what to expect a little bit, but then obviously weather comes into play and there's so many different variables. So just try and prepare the best you can during the week and show up on the weekend ready to go.
One of those things you have to adapt to. It's just part of Supercross. You have to go there and learn how to do a new rhythm section and go through whoops. So it's just part of the game, and you got to learn how to get good at it.
As you have seen, the sport of Supercross has had its share of champions throughout the years. 56 different men have won 450 Supercross races, and 20 of those have earned the ultimate prize, taking home the coveted championship trophy. But until their ascent in the early part of the last decade, no two supremely talented riders occupied the same era as James Stewart and Chad Reed. Now these two champions face the difficult test of competing against such a deep field of fast competitors.
James and I are kind of like the seasoned guys now, you know, so you almost root for the old guys, you know. We all work really, really hard and love what we do, and we want to race the best guys in the world. You got to bring it. There's got to be good dudes, you know, whether there's one challenger or 10 challengers. It's the same thing, really, because, you know, you got to do your job right and be there 17, weeks of the year, and that's how you get a title done.
For sure, racing has changed since when I came in, back in 2002. It's definitely tough. Now you got 7 guys that win main events. You know, you probably got 10 guys that probably can win main events. Any successful racer understands that it could be 7, 2, 1, or 40 people. If you concentrate on what you're trying to accomplish, then you just go get it done.
Unlike champions McGrath and Carmichael, these two greats of the sport will forever be linked one to the other. Both men occupy a place in the top 5 on the all-time win list and have earned 4 titles between them. Their place at the altar of great champions of the sport is secure.
Through it all, being able to win, I think, 42 Supercross races, 2 Supercross titles, and still, here to have another shot at some more wins and some more titles.
Me and Chad have similar career numbers, 2 championships. I think I might have a few more wins in them and, a few more other titles, but our numbers are pretty much the same. Like, I don't compare myself to Chad Reed, and he shouldn't compare himself to me. He's going to be known as an Australian that came over to America and lived his dream and done good. Be known as one of the first black racers to ever win a championship in a sport, like changing the sport by the scrub, changing how people race motorcycles, how fast people go. So the stats are close, but we could be probably on the opposite side of how and who we are and what we're trying to accomplish in this sport. Whether I win another race or not, like, my history stamp is the same goes for him.
Stewart on the Suzuki, and Reed is right there.
Both riders came into the 2013 season as title contenders, with hopes of moving up the all-time win list. However, they would battle inconsistency in the face of new challenges on the track. 2-2 Motorsports Honda rider Reed would find the podium only 2 times in the season's first half, and would toss away his best chance for a win at round 6 in San Diego, where he had previously conquered the field a record 6 times.
Oh! Reed goes down! He loses the front end!
His season would dramatically change after round 12 in Toronto, when the former 2-time champ would undergo surgery on his right knee. Yoshimura Suzuki's James Stewart would still show flashes of the old Stewart speed, dominating the practice charts and qualifying heat races. But untimely crashes and bad starts marred the season's first half. A rare mechanical at the start of the round 7 main event only added insult to injury.
Yeah, I was just sitting on the gate and something happened to the clutch. It's not these guys' fault. These guys put 100% in there. It's just a freak accident. It's a bummer. We felt good. I felt great. I felt like tonight was my night.
1 week after the Dallas disappointment, Stewart would write a season of frustration in a dominating display at the Georgia Dome.
Stewart on the Suzuki takes the whole shot.
As this race is starting to tighten up, remember, Stewart has not won since Daytona, March 10th of 2012.
Here he comes. James Stewart has won here at the Georgia Dome.
James Stewart's wire-to-wire win in Atlanta would give him his 45th career 450 Supercross main event victory. It was also the 9th season that Stewart had collected a win, and he joined Jeremy McGrath and Chad Reed in this exclusive club. Don't go away. When we come back, we take a look at what has become a showcase event on the schedule, the Monster Energy Cup. And it's time to meet up with 2010 Monster Energy Supercross champion Ryan Dungey as he goes all out in pursuit of title number 2.
The Supercross Championship is the biggest title you can win.
2 short years, a superstar field and huge purse have helped turn the Monster Energy Cup into a must-watch, and for hardcore Supercross fans, a must-attend event. In 2011, Kawasaki's Ryan Villapoto capped a perfect year by taking home an unprecedented $1 million payout when he won the Monster Million. 1 year later, 450 rookie Justin Barcia took home the largest share of the purse and made a big statement about what he can do against the very best in the world. This unique event is looked forward to by the world's top riders.
You know, I think Monster Energy Cup is pretty special, I think, from a rider's point of view. Track's special. It's a little different than the typical Supercross. RC and, combination of Dirtworks, they do a great job. I enjoyed the track and my experience last year a lot.
Well, I think fans should come out to the Monster Energy Cup race in October just for the fact that it's a one-off race. It's much different from any other race during the year that you're going to see. There's really no rules. There's a lot of money on the line, which makes riders do some pretty different things. So a lot of aggressive racing, but also the format of the racing is a little bit different as well.
It's 310 laps, and this last year we had a deal called the Joker Lane, which is something we don't see in a normal Supercross race. So just the whole thing is different.
There's $1 million on the line, so you should go to see that. Imagine you got 20 guys out there racing for $1 million. So you can only imagine what happens with that. So it's special. I think it's pretty cool. More exciting than a regular Supercross. You see the younger generation coming up. So it's a big family event, and it always keeps you exciting.
It's a little bit of an off-season race for the guys, so I think they come into that race a little extra fired up just because no one's really raced in a while, so everyone's just ready to go.
Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas will host the third Monster Energy Cup on October 19th as the sport's best compete head-to-head for their chance at $1 million. This is the only event where the best 250 riders get to compete directly against the 450 stars. It's an opportunity for the next generation of riders to make a name for themselves on the sport's biggest stage. With an all-new track layout designed by legend Ricky Carmichael, riders and fans alike are sure to see something they've never seen before. Tickets are on sale now. At the 2012 Monster Energy Cup, KTM's Ryan Dungey rode to a second-place overall finish. A podium for the ever-consistent Dungey is not a surprise. The fact that he did it while reaching down to shift with his hand, however, was something not often seen on a Supercross track. This determined ride should not shock anyone who has followed the Minnesotan's career. Ryan Dungey is one of the most committed and resilient riders in the sport. His win at Round 5 in Anaheim offered further proof.
And Ryan Dungey with big problems. And look at the rear of the motorcycle just hung down there.
Got a problem with the shock there.
Is it? I know they've been testing air shocks.
As he moved into the last chance qualifier, the black cloud hanging over Dungey hadn't quite lifted.
Canary does! And then there's a huge pileup.
Massive! There's partridges
down everywhere in there. Canary is in it. Partridge is in it.
Dungey's almost there.
You see Partridge on the 85.
But the KTM rider would persevere, finishing second in the LCQ and advance on to the main event. Mike Alessi held the lead in lap 2, but had Dungey bearing down on him.
Going for the lead is Dungey. Coming inside on it. The Red Bull KTM rider has the lead. Alessi is off.
As he cruised to the finish, Dungey had turned a nightmare night into a dream.
Here he is. Ryan Dungey lights the candles in Anaheim with an amazing win.
The Anaheim race is Ryan Dungey in a nutshell. It's the Midwest sensibility that you never give up, that there is always something more you can do, whether it's training harder, practicing longer, or shifting with your hand. You do whatever it takes to win.
Usually you would think riding a dirt bike, all there is to it is, putting time on the dirt bike and getting better. And it is like that, long days, improving skills, going faster, speed, all kinds of stuff. Constantly working on technique. But off the dirt bike, there's a lot of fitness to be made up as well. Usually a lot of base training, interval stuff on cycling, running, some swimming, and also stuff in the gym as well, like free weights and all kinds of core and everything like that. So Pretty much everything you can think of off the dirt bike. You know, we've tried it or done it or use it to become better athletes. Training for Supercross, you know, all that off-training stuff does help tremendously. You know, so when we get on that dirt bike, we're stronger and fitter and able to run harder.
The best answer to that, I think, is to see what he does when there's some adversity. You know, like last year when he broke his collarbone. Then the following week, he came from behind and caught Villopoto, you know, with a broken collarbone. So that shows that his toughness, and he's better than what he thinks he is, because when he takes his mind away to something else, he outdoes himself.
Once you win, you know, it's such a good feeling. You know, you're doing everything right, things are clicking, it feels good, you don't worry, you're just doing your thing, you know, knowing that everything's in your place and it's working right.
The 2010 Supercross champ is prepared to face a future where the talent of the field at the start gate will challenge him to rise to new heights.
As the years keep going by, you know, there definitely seems to be a lot more guys coming up, whether it's from the 250 class or guys who've been in the 450 class, just challenging, you know, for that top spot even more. Putting more and more pressure on the guys to having to be there every single weekend, which is raising the bar. And that level of intensity is getting better as well. So with that many good guys out there, the racing is only going to get better and tougher. To win is going to mean all that much more.
While KTM seems set in the pro ranks for years to come with stars Dungey, Roczen, and Musquin, the Austrian motorcycle maker is continuing to shine the spotlight on tomorrow's racers with their ever-popular KTM Junior Supercross program. In 2013, 6 events played host to 15 riders each. The 7- and 8-year-olds compete on KTM 50s on the same track that their heroes race on. The program participants get to experience life as a factory star. They enjoy a track walk, have their own practice session, sign autographs, and race in front of thousands of fans. These young stars hope to follow in the footsteps of riders like Ryan Dungey, Eli Tomac, and Mike Alessi, who all competed in the program when they were kids. The KJSC program will return in 2014, making more young riders' Supercross dreams come true. When Monster Energy Supercross Changing of the Guard returns, it's time to meet Ryan Villopoto. Is he the next great champion in a class with McGrath and Carmichael before him? Or is he going to succumb to the pressures of the talented field of riders seeking to dethrone him? Welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross Changing of the Guard. When the championship left California after round 6, 4 riders had split the 6 wins, with Millsaps and Villopoto each having won 2 races apiece. However, the mistakes made at the opener had cost Villopoto. Heading into round 7 in Cowboy Stadium, the defending champ sat 3rd in points behind leader Davey Millsaps and KTM's Ryan Dungey. A win at Arlington marked a turning point as Villopoto began a streak of 6 wins in the next 7 races.
Villopoto, he just set the 3rd fastest lap time.
There goes Villopoto. Villopoto tried to get inside.
Scraps the triple to the inside. Villopoto.
Bar to bar, and he passes it. Contact already between these two. Villopoto's the new leader.
Barsha's right there. Reed is right there. And
Stewart trying to come back
there.
inside. Oh, this is what makes Monster Energy Supercross so exciting. And Stewart takes him high. There's another rider down right here. There's the 39 of Kanairi. Villopoto comes through there.
Barsha needs to get
There he
aggressive.
goes.
There you go.
There it is, right there. Bam, bam, bangs wheels. Can the young man on that number 51 Muscle Milk Honda, he taps a top block out of the way and loses 2nd to Stewart and 3rd to Reed, and now Dungey goes by. 2 wins here at the Edward Jones Dome and the 4th win of the year.
During his hot streak, Villopoto would not be denied in his points clash with Millsaps.
Oh boy, Villopoto came close to Millsaps. He goes after McGinn in the sand, pushes around the outside, and takes the spot. On his way to his 30th career victory, Ryan Villopoto has done it here in Indy.
Just had to push. Ryan was there. We were going all out, and it makes it a little bit on the edge there when the track starts to deteriorate and we're pushing super hard.
Villopoto trying to capitalize on Davey struggling to get off that berm. Then Villopoto.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, there it is. Just past the halfway point, and Villopoto Villopoto takes the lead. His 5th out of the last 6 and his 31st career victory.
By round 13, Ryan Villopoto had not only made up the 27-point deficit he faced just 6 rounds earlier, but he also managed to extend his lead over Millsaps to 21 points. Ryan Villopoto was mounting a charge towards history, a 3rd consecutive title, and he would become just the 4th rider to accomplish this heroic feat, joining Bob Hanna, Ricky Carmichael, and Jeremy McGrath. If he were to be remembered as the sport's next great champion, it would be on the back of a tireless work ethic that drives him when others might rest, and the search for a standard of excellence his entire team strives to achieve.
For sure, I think I could do things better. Not that I can train any better, because when I do train, it's 110%, but I think I've done a good job at filling those holes that are maybe a weakness with the right people.
In other sports, they have everything provided for them. Football players have a stadium, the lockers there, the gym's there. These guys, they have to provide it for themselves. The ranch is a huge investment. We have 2 Supercross tracks. We can switch from week to week. D3 dozer out there, Bobcat, a water truck. We can change it. We can do whatever we want. If he's struggling with something, we can focus on that.
Supercross thrives on dedication, countless hours of preparation. All the greats have it, and Ryan possesses that. And I think he's learned that from his family. His dad was hard on him.
If it wasn't for him pushing on me when I was amateur, then I would have never made it. Easiest thing to do is give up.
To be anything that's elite, there's pushing going on. There's those kids that you'll see at the track, there's always an excuse or they don't wanna. You give into that, well, that's the routine it becomes, and then what are you? You're not a world champion.
We'll be in the gym, and me, him, and Eldon start joking around about something. All of a sudden, we're like, see who can do more push-ups. I guarantee you he doesn't want me to drop him on the road bike, so he's gonna try and drop me.
Don't bounce them, control. The last 13 years that I've been doing it, I do see similar traits that I like. How much, firstly, desire and heart does he have? Everyone says, I'll do whatever it takes to win, but there's different degrees. Come on, come on. They listen in the beginning, you tell them eat dirt and they'll do it. As they get better, well, maybe I don't need that much. I'm back to number 1 again. That hurt to watch. Seriously. You're just burning up gas.
People see in Ryan a lot of the things that they wish that they had in themselves. Someone that comes back from adversity, is disciplined, tough as nails, a champion in a sport that there's very few that get to claim that title.
Victory goes to Ryan Villopoto.
4 races remain in the 2013 season, and Davey Millsaps and Ryan Dungey are still within striking distance of the championship. When we come back, we will show you how the 2013 season wrapped up when Monster Energy Supercross Changing of the Guard returns. The legions of fans who follow Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship were riveted to the final 4 rounds of the championship. The final chapter of the 2013 season would be written in a little over a month's time. For the first time since 2008, Monster Energy Supercross returned to Minnesota. An enthusiastic crowd was eager for a Dungey win. But the KTM star would have to chase down Ryan Villopoto and put an end to his winning streak if he were to send the very pro Dungey crowd home happy.
Look how close Dungey is now. He is closing up and the fans are loving it here at the Metrodome. Just a race.
Mistake by Villopoto. Here's Dungey.
Here's the pass.
He's right there. Oh, he couldn't get it done. They split the lane. Dungey leads him. Side by side, they're banging in Minnesota.
Villopoto back to the inside.
Again. Into the whoops again. Such a tricky area. And Dungey leads him out. Here comes the split. Villopoto's there. He's going to take one last shot. Dungey wins it home.
From Dungey's home state in Minnesota to Villapoto's in Washington, the riders and teams packed up for a race amidst the elements at CenturyLink Field in Seattle.
Oh, big problems for Villapoto. He was caught up in the middle. And it looks like Dungey had issues there as well and might have gotten knocked down. This could be a huge turn of events in the championship. Here he comes towards a checkered flag, and Justin Barcia wins Seattle in his first try.
The Barcia victory in Seattle was the latest sign that the young riders are getting set for their era to begin. With 2 titles already to his credit, Monster Energy Kawasaki's Ryan Villapoto came into round 16 with a chance to clinch title number 3. His chief rivals for that title were determined to keep him from clinching early.
Where's Millsaps? And Dungey. Dungey's in the lead. No, he's not. It's Villapoto.
With Villapoto out front and his 2 chief rivals for the title chasing him, this would be the 3-rider showdown everyone had been waiting for.
Down to a 1.6. They are really closing in on Villapoto. Just one guy, just one of them has to finish in front of Villapoto to take this championship to Vegas. It is on here in Salt Lake.
Despite the all-out effort from Millsaps and Dungey, Ryan Villapoto would race to his 9th victory of the season and make Supercross history in the process, becoming just the 4th rider to capture 3 consecutive Supercross championships.
And Ryan Villapoto wins his 3rd championship in a row!
At the end of the long journey, a humble Ryan Villapoto celebrated his 3rd consecutive championship.
I just can't thank everybody that stuck behind me this whole entire time. To win a race in this series and what we do is just, that's unreal on its own. So to win a championship, it's amazing, and to make it 3 in a row, it's unbelievable. I can't, like I said, I can't thank everybody enough.
With the championship trophy firmly in hand, new champ Ryan Villapoto led the field into the final round in Las Vegas.
Weimer, first one to the big corner, and here comes Villapoto. The 2 Monster Energy Kawasaki factory teammates side by side. Villapoto with a big handful of throttle. He's coming back into the stadium with the lead. Villapoto falls back to 2nd as Weimer retakes the lead, but not for long. Weimer bobbled. Here comes Davey. He took his hand off and pushed him. There it is. But Weimer comes back. Oh, what a great battle. And Davey's back into 2nd place in the points. Final corner of the season. Ryan Villapoto, the 3-time champ, has 10 wins in 2013.
While the 2013 season saw Ryan Villapoto capture his 3rd Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship, it has become clear that change is coming. A slew of young talent is set to join the already accomplished riders in the 450 class. A look at the 2014 schedule shows 3 visits to the unofficial home of Supercross in Anaheim in the first 5 weeks, a return to Detroit for round 11, and to the greater New York metropolitan area for round 16 highlight the season's second half. Ryan Villapoto will lead the world's greatest Supercross riders into MetLife Stadium on April 26th as the riders compete in the penultimate round in the world's largest media market. And of course, the riders return to Las Vegas for the 2014 finale on May 3rd. Congratulations to 2014 Monster Energy Supercross champion Ryan Villapoto. And thank you for watching Monster Energy Supercross, Changing of the Guard.